There's a story inside every smoke shop, with every cigar, and with every person. Come be a part of the cigar lifestyle at Boveda. This is Box Press. Welcome to another episode of Box Press. I'm your host, Rob Gagne, and I'm sitting across from a father-son duo. Father-son duo, we're gonna get into learning everything about them, but you guys know what this means. It's a reoccurring segment where I ask each of them, the father and the son, three main questions, and now we're gonna see how well they know each other. How well does Carson know his dad, Tony, and how well does Tony know his son, Carson? All right, you guys ready to play?
We're ready to play.
Let's do it.
All right. Okay, Carson, I'm gonna ask you, what is your dad's favorite book?
How to Win Friends and Influence People.
Oh, 100%, baby.
Yeah.
Just so you guys know, we are keeping score. He's
Okay.
1 for 1 right now. There's 3 total questions. Should you get anything less than 2 of the questions correct, you will have to dissolve the company, sell all the assets, and split ways. Okay? Tony's looking at me
No
like,
pressure.
what are you talking about my company for? I ain't selling nothing. All right.
All right.
Okay, Carson, what is your dad's favorite music or band or artist?
It's the Beatles.
You sure? You want to hang your hat on the Beatles?
I think so.
Okay, it's not. It's Thomas Hyman, who is a dear friend of your dad's.
Yes.
Tony, who is Thomas Hyman? We all probably don't know who he is.
Well, Thomas Hyman is a multi-talented musician, plays over 9 instruments, wrote over 400 songs, and lived in San Francisco. He passed away a few years ago, and we became very good friends through the cigar industry. He started smoking my cigars and then contacted me, found out that I played piano and was playing guitar, and had me build. I told him I was building a house. So he said, well, I'll come down and help you set up your music studio, because I was building a music studio inside my house.
No way.
Yeah, and he said, when you get your house built, he said, build a professional music studio inside your house. And he says, I'll come down and live with you for 3 or 4 months, and I'll really teach you how to play. Those 3 years, when 3 years went by, he caught pancreatic cancer, and he passed away before he could actually come down and help me. But on the last day that he died, we FaceTime each other, and I sang one of his songs to him just before he passed away.
Holy
So
cow.
he was a very close friend of mine. And,
Thank you for sharing that, Tony.
yeah.
I should have went with that one for sure.
Yeah.
Did you know about him? Of
yeah, I knew
course?
Thomas for
Yeah.
sure. Yeah. I wasn't going with the,
Okay, so does Thomas really have any
So
chart-topping-
Thomas's CDs are in my car, and I play them all the time.
right.
Yeah.
I used to listen to the Beatles and
Yeah, so he's close.
Sirius XM, but my heart belongs to Thomas.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, so he's a singer, he was a songwriter. So I know he has hits for like other people. I don't know like off the top of my head.
So he's more of a songwriter,
Yeah.
and then the people who take credit are
Yeah.
the artists that he wrote it for.
Right.
Yeah.
Uh-huh.
That's
He was a
why
catalog writer,
it was a
for
little
sure.
bit of a trick answer.
Yeah.
You know, I'll
Yeah,
give
it
you the
was.
benefit of the doubt.
Yeah.
Tony, we're going to give him credit for the Beatles.
Okay.
But I love the fact that we know now how Thomas really played a role in your life.
Yeah.
And it was super impactful.
Yeah.
A big
You know,
impact.
Totally.
Yeah.
Yeah.
He's really talented.
Yeah, it sounds
Yeah.
like it. And a gracious person to like offer to come and help you because
Oh,
you're
yeah.
so passionate about music
Yes, absolutely.
and impart his wisdom. Like, what a cool friend.
Yeah.
What
Yeah,
a
he
cool
was a
friend.
great friend.
That's awesome.
Yeah. I even kept all his voicemails. I have all his voicemails.
I have my grandma's voicemails and
Yeah.
a few other voicemails that
Yeah.
every once in a while you listen to them.
Yeah. Uh-huh.
Yeah.
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 Carson, what would your dad say his greatest accomplishment is in life? This is the epitaph. This is what's going on the headstone.
Yeah.
Tony is known for this. Tony said that this, out of everything else in his life, was his greatest accomplishment.
I'm stumped from the last answer. So I'm either going to say building the business.
Wait. So, okay, you can say right now that
Okay.
you're going to say two. Says, okay, choice number one is building the business.
Or choice number 2 is raising me and Amber and the sisters.
Okay. So now that we have two choices out there, are you going through your brain and thinking which one? Because you can only pick one, and you have to say this is the one that my dad said. So which one is it, Carson?
Probably number 1,
Number one,
Yeah.
which was
the business.
It was building the business.
yeah.
It was building the whole cigar business.
Yeah.
The whole thing
Multiple
that we pour
businesses.
all of our energy into, and we distribute all over the world so people can enjoy a good time.
Yeah.
You were wrong.
Okay.
It was the second one.
Okay.
But it shows that you're humble,
Yeah.
right? Because you look at your father as somebody who's hardworking,
Yeah.
who built something.
Absolutely.
You probably don't look at your father and go, you did a real good job raising me.
Yeah.
Because, we know our flaws better than anyone else.
Certainly. For sure. Absolutely. Yeah.
So I'll give you the benefit of the
Yeah.
doubt on that one as well. But that's two.
Okay.
You got two wrong.
Okay.
So we'll see if your dad keeps you around.
Okay.
Okay?
Yeah.
Yeah. You can still come to Sunday dinner, but it'll be awkward
Yeah.
for a while.
Certainly. Yeah, for sure.
Okay.
All
Tony,
right, go ahead.
you're in the hot seat now, my friend.
All right, here we go.
What is Carson's favorite book?
Well, that's a problem because Carson reads a book almost every day.
Right.
And
I know. I talked to you about it over the phone.
I
So now
know.
you have to go and go, okay, let's go back to the epitaph. Let's go back to Desert Island. You only get to bring one book. Which book is Carson going to take with him? He's got to take a book, and this book has to entertain him for the rest of his life. It's only one. Come on, Tony.
I don't know.
I know you can do it.
No.
I'll give you some hints. It has to do with your heritage. It has to do with how this influenced your son on how much he reads.
I just see so many books that he reads. I don't know.
Give him a
know.
one-word hint. One-word hint.
You have a favorite out of all the books you read?
Yeah, it was the original back in like high school that kind of got me going. Or there's a
Carson. I
Leonardo
said one
DiCaprio.
word. I said, okay,
Leonardo
DiCaprio.
Leonardo DiCaprio.
That's your hint. All right, so just take a minute. It's Leonardo DiCaprio. What does he have to do with books?
I don't know. The Titanic?
It's close, but it's The Great Gatsby.
Oh, The Great Gatsby. Okay.
It's a tough one. He reads so much.
The Great Gatsby. I remember that.
yeah, around the same time period.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So
And all my hints, Carson, I apologize if they weren't even accurate.
no, that was a good one.
Okay.
Yeah.
All right, Tony. What is Carson's favorite music, band, artist? What's his favorite? What is he going to listen to all the time now?
Oh, boy. I mean, we both play music together.
Yeah. There's a lot of influences.
Yeah, I know.
There's a lot of
we
people
both
you
like
guys
so
probably
many
listen
different
to.
bands. I don't know. Maybe the Beatles.
Close.
Paul McCartney.
No.
No.
What, you want one more? I'll give you one
Same
more.
era.
I'll
Yeah,
give you one
same
more.
era. Yeah, same.
For the
era.
redemption. This is the alley-oop, Tony.
The alley-oop. Here we go.
There was 4 people in one of his bands: Crosby, Stills, Nat.
And
What is it, Tony?
Nash and Young?
Neil Young.
Huh?
Neil Young.
Who?
Neil Young.
Neil Young.
Yeah.
Oh, I didn't know that.
Neil Young.
Yeah, I didn't know that.
That's
Yeah.
all right.
Yeah.
It's Neil
Beatles
Young.
were number 2, and that's, if I would have known this was how it was going to go, I probably would have led with the easy answer for him.
Okay,
Yeah.
the Beatles.
Yeah. No, I didn't
Yeah.
even know he liked Crosby, Stills, Nash and Young.
I didn't make it easy
Yeah.
on you. So
No.
I didn't explain any of the rules to them, by the way. I just asked them the questions and that was it.
Oh yeah,
So you're doing good.
Okay.
And it's just all for
we're
fun.
we're in the ballpark. We're in the parking lot.
It's not
Yeah.
like he's like, I have no
Yeah.
idea, some techno band out of, France.
Yeah.
Yeah.
You know?
Uh-huh.
Okay, we're good. We're good. Tony, what is Carson's greatest accomplishment in life?
I think his articulate vocabulary and his reading skills
nice.
and public speaking, his education, I believe.
Okay, we're on a good vein here. Because it's learning how to play an instrument. Learning how to play those instruments
Yeah.
that influence you guys so much.
Uh-huh.
It takes a lot, right?
Yeah. A lot
Yeah.
of discipline.
How
People don't
many
realize it.
instruments
Yeah.
do you play?
Well, I only play guitar and piano right now. I'm learning, but I'm going to try to learn drums soon. Like that's in its incipient, nascent stages right now. So, yeah, that's
Love
the
it.
next frontier.
Love it.
Yeah, we're going to keep going.
Always pushing yourself.
Oh, yeah.
Always trying to get the next best thing. Because guess what? That's what we do when we're excited about something.
For
and
sure.
We're passionate about it.
It's fun being an amateur because that's where all the passion is.
Yeah.
A guy who reads about a book a day has
Yeah.
to be a quick learner.
Yeah.
So it's a good start
Yeah,
Yeah.
to be learning new instruments.
not quite a book a day, but yeah.
So what is it?
I enjoy reading.
How many
I
do
think
you
it
read?
connects you to a lot of different insights that from the past and future looking forward that you wouldn't be able to. So I'd say I try to do one every 10 days, a couple a month, and I feel like that's a healthy.
He orders a book a day.
Yeah, yeah. It's more so like built into my lifestyle now. So
Sure.
yeah.
So I have a friend who on TikTok, she reviews books in the sense of like, hey, I'm reading this book and does like a quick, 30-second plug. She actually gets paid like $250
Wow.
to do that. She's got like 30,000 plus people following her. I suggest possibly to help fund all the books, you start a TikTok because you'd be a real good person to reference what book to read to somebody like me. Because I'm
Okay.
going to go on TikTok and I follow you and I'm going to go, oh man, I should read that. Do you
It's-
like social media?
Well, I run our social media for the company. I'm not on TikTok, but I have seen like all the use cases, and that's like a good one,
Yeah.
for to pick up just like little quick reads or for, insights into, what people are,
Right.
the pulse of what people are reading.
You could give it your top, 1, 2, 3. This is why you should read the book.
Yeah.
Boom, go.
Yeah.
And
I'll
if
look
you're
into
reading
it.
them every 10 days, you'd be super valuable to a publisher.
Yeah.
And then they'd send you books for free. And then on top of that, they'd pay you to read it.
I'm in the wrong business.
No, it's a side
Yeah,
hustle.
side
Everyone's
hustle.
got to have a
Okay.
side hustle.
All right.
I'm just giving you some ideas.
Yeah. I'm with you.
I collect a 25% royalty
Okay.
on all my ideas, okay? You
Okay.
cool?
Works for me.
Awesome.
Yeah.
Verbal agreement. You heard it, Tony.
Okay.
It's recorded.
Yeah, it's
Yeah,
recorded.
signed, sealed, delivered.
Yeah, absolutely. All right. So obviously we learned a little bit about the father-son relationship that exists right here in front of our eyes. But there's stuff that we don't see. So as people that work together in business and are also related, intimately related, father-son relationships, sometimes some boundaries need to be placed. Like, hey, we're not at work, so let's cut out the work talk. Do these rules and guidelines exist in your relationship, or is it pretty fluid? You can ebb and flow, and it doesn't offend anyone.
We do have a hard time with that. But we do have a lot of things in common. So sometimes the business does get in the way, but we kind of break it up with our music skills, talking about our music, and we really do have a good family. We have, you know.
That was your greatest accomplishment, is raising
my
a
wife,
good
and he's
family.
got 2 sisters, and we all get along great.
Are the sisters involved in the business too?
No.
How about your wife, Tony?
No.
Okay, so it's just you
Extended
two.
family, uncles involved.
Yeah, my brothers and they're involved in the
and then
business.
everyone with the company, at the warehouse, in the front office, everyone's been there for 15 plus years.
Yeah.
So it's like a small family. We don't have we don't have turnover.
But for you guys are kind of on a desert island together because you have to live this dual life.
Yeah.
You got to work together and you got to be related.
Yeah. Yeah, and it's not. There's no like. It doesn't get too hairy at all.
Right.
It's sometimes
manageable.
you do. Yeah. Sometimes you do have.
We have different
periods
different opinions.
where it's too work heavy in that balance, and
and you adjust.
Yeah, and you adjust.
You just
and
gotta
then
adjust.
sometimes you got to take a step back and be like, hey, we're getting on each other too much about work.
Right.
Yeah.
A
So
good
maybe, like,
apology goes a long way.
yeah.
Yeah.
For sure. Absolutely.
Yeah, a little self-reflection.
Yeah. Absolutely.
And that happens a lot.
Especially around trade show time.
Yeah.
Yeah, man. I hear you. It's not easy to come to a trade show.
No.
Mhm.
And on top of it, your line, just for everyone out there, let's just say a cigar company on average has 20 different, SKUs. You guys are running, how many different SKUs you got in the portfolio? Because you're distributing products.
We literally have thousands because our main business is manufacturing cigars for private labeling for other big companies.
Right.
So
you're running distribution.
In our own core line, in our catalog, with our brand names, we might have 400.
400 SKUs.
Yeah, but then we make cigars for so
Including
many different
sizes
people.
and stuff.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. Well, if you look in our catalog, we got 400 SKUs.
I know.
Wow.
But that's ours.
And then
that's
you
not
got
the ones
everyone
that-
else's.
Yeah.
Because a shop will call you up and say, hey, I need somebody's cigar. And you go, okay, I got
Yeah.
it. And you ship it out.
Yeah, we private label for a lot of internet companies. We private label for
Okay.
a lot of big companies
Right.
that have
And
a lot of SKUs.
What's private label?
Well, private label is a company comes to us because we actually have the factories. We have 3 factories in the Dominican Republic that we're partners with, and 1 in Nicaragua, and we can turn out a lot of cigars. So there's a lot of lack of rollers. So
Wait a minute. Back to the question.
Yeah.
Okay.
What does it mean to private label?
Okay. It means to make another manufacturer's cigars that don't have the manpower to make enough of their own. They give us the blend, they give us the packaging, we make the cigars, I import it for them, bring it into my warehouse, and then organize it and ship it to them.
Got it. Do they send you the tobacco as well that they want to use?
No, they give us the blend, or they approve a blend. They give
So
us.
you're sourcing the raw tobacco as well.
Yeah,
Because you're growing it, you're curing it, you're sourcing it, you're sorting it.
Right.
Mhm.
Exactly.
Got it.
And
that,
we do this for lots of companies. That's our main business.
Got it. That's the brick. That's what's paying the mortgage. This is how we keep the lights on. We are the makers of cigars for other people's brands.
Right.
Got it. And you do that with 3 factories, 2 in the DR and 1 in Nicaragua.
No, three in the DR
3 in the DR
and 1 in Nicaragua.
1 in Nicaragua. So I stand corrected, 4 factories.
Right.
That's a lot of overhead to manage.
Oh, yeah.
How many employees is that just on a rough number?
Well, now after the COVID has been over, we lost a lot of rollers, but we've had up to 500 to 600 employees.
Wow.
Yeah, rollers all combined.
Yeah.
Carson, what are you thinking?
Yeah, just interconnected all at like one time, you know. And there's definitely different
Rollers,
parts
packers.
and different people who
Yeah, you get
are
people
involved with the
pick-
company, like Maurice and Sergio and Omar. And then they're all, you know,
Who are those guys?
Those are our partners.
yeah, partners who run the factory and you know, farms and fields and all that
All
stuff.
right,
So,
they're the boots on
Yeah.
the ground.
for sure.
They're making it happen. They're making
Absolutely.
sure the factory's going.
Yeah.
That we got product coming in and we got
Fine.
product going out.
Mhm.
Yeah, farming. They're
Yeah.
also farming, planting tobacco. There's
Right.
a lot of employees.
Yeah. And all
How-
of those guys are vertically integrated. So they're all working, you know, within their own chain and their own company as well. So yeah, just really
What do you
good
mean
partners.
by that? Their own company.
Like,
Aren't they working for you?
yeah, we're all working together. They,
Yeah,
you
we
know,
work together. It's a
so-
partnership.
Yeah, it's a partnership. So
Yeah.
they have their own farm. They run the farms and the factory and oversee everything, and then we go down there and work with them as well, and
Got it.
vice versa. They come to the States and work with
Yeah.
us.
So it's not like, Tony, you're from the top. It's your company, your business, and then it trickles down. It's more
No.
like,
Yeah,
hey,
it's a partnership.
let's all get together
Yeah.
Yeah.
and share resources so we can achieve this greater goal of producing cigars.
And
Absolutely.
we've been, the same people have been together for close to 30 years.
Yeah.
Wow.
And we've never even had an argument.
Yeah.
Not even one.
How do you do that, Tony? How do
We
you
have
do
a lot
that?
of respect for each other.
Yeah.
A lot of respect.
Yeah,
Yeah.
a lot of respect for one another, and we're all making money together, and we throw a lot of ideas off each other, and we're constantly talking, communicating
A lot of
every
trust.
day. You have to do this every day.
I would
lot
say
of
trust and honestly keeping
and a lot of it is
everybody's
trust and honesty. Yeah,
trust and keeping everyone's best interest in front of you. Like our best interest and their best interest, we're all together. Like we want to see them do well and they want to see us do well. So I think working earnestly together is the main ingredient. You know.
Well said, because it can get a little selfish sometimes if
Yeah.
you think, hey man,
there are
I'm doing all this work and you're benefiting.
Mhm.
But really what you're saying is, I'm looking at the big picture here. When I'm working hard and it benefits you, I also get that in return because we all have each other's best interests in
Yeah.
hand, in mind.
Mhm.
We go into everything we do with that
Yeah.
in the back of our brain.
Yeah,
Yeah.
I would say that's
That's awesome.
That's the essence for sure.
That,
And I think
there's
that's-
no other way to do it without
Yeah.
any arguments. Otherwise, if you get greed,
No.
if you get selfish, or if you get downright evil,
yeah,
it won't work.
no,
Somebody's out.
Yeah.
And the volume that we do is an outstanding amount for a small company like us. I mean, when before the pandemic, we were bringing in 1.5 million cigars a month,
And that's a small company.
and those.
Hang on, Tony.
Yeah.
That's not a small company.
Well,
1 million cigars,
a million and a half
cigars a month.
well, we bring
is-
in 40-foot containers, which holds approximately 600,000 cigars, and in our heyday,
Wait a minute, 600,000 boxes? Or
no cigars,
Cigars.
cigars.
Okay, so
Okay.
let's just do the quick dirty math.
Yeah.
We're like right at 18 million a year in cigar making.
Yeah.
right?
Well, we would bring in our heyday, we would bring in 2 containers a month, 2 to 3. Now it's different. We have, after the pandemic, we lost a lot of rollers.
I get that.
Yeah.
But let's just stick on the number.
Okay.
18 million a year, right?
Yeah.
18 million cigars made a year
Yes.
Of all
is
different
not a
price points.
small business.
No.
Why, Tony, does it feel like a small business to you?
Well,
I'll let you answer once he's done.
For sure.
well, when you're making cigars for other people,
That's right.
they're their cigars. They're not ours. We're just
Right.
doing it for them.
Okay,
When we're making very little markup,
right.
okay? So, and it comes in.
We're talking about small margins because you're
Small
looking
margin.
for high volume.
Yeah.
Got it.
High volume, small margin, and our containers are already pre-sold. So when they come in, they go out. And
Right.
Our-
So it's not
our
like
brands-
one cigar. It's not Sereno Cigars, which
No.
is your brand,
No.
is doing 18 million.
yeah,
Sereno Cigars is selling how many cigars a year?
The Sereno brand itself is still, pretty
Yeah,
small.
still
That's
new.
only been around for 5
Yeah.
years.
Yeah, give me
It
the
was-
number that you sell every
I
year.
would say-
but then we have our
Rough number.
Then we have our APS cigars, which are
I get
mostly
that,
bundle cigars.
but let's keep it easy for the consumer.
few 100,000.
yeah,
A
Yeah.
few 100,000,
Yeah.
like less than 500,000.
That's probably right around where we're at.
Okay,
Yeah.
now Tony, I'm tracking with you. It's a small business because
Right.
your brand of cigars
Right.
is only doing about 500,000
right,
out in the
right.
marketplace.
Now our
Now-
bundle cigars is different.
Right, I get that. But that's the bundle cigars still get white labeled. They still get private labeled, right?
No,
they
those are
still
our
get out
brands.
there.
Yeah, those,
Yeah.
those are our brands that we do private label for other people. But
Yeah, like
we
a shop
consider them
stick.
our-
It might be
yeah.
a shop stick.
Yeah.
They come unbanded. They're
Yeah.
bundles,
Yeah.
right?
And we have
Yeah.
some branded.
Yeah. Okay. So again, it's not a Sereno brand though. You guys pour money, marketing, advertising into the Sereno brand.
Right. Yeah.
You're not going to do that with the bundle sticks.
No.
Got it.
Yeah.
Perfect. Did you want to add anything to that, or did it clarify it up?
It clarified, and that was the the track I was about to run down.
Right.
Is that having so many other like side projects with just brick and mortars, mom and pops that are like 5 stores,
yeah.
that's where it's all compounding together.
It's a lot of work
Yeah.
for a little return on investment.
Exactly.
But it's helping everybody
Yeah.
sell more cigars
Yeah.
and smoke more cigars. So
Yeah.
at
Yeah.
the end of the day, everyone at Sereno or at APS Distribution, is that the big group?
Yeah.
APS Distribution is happy, right?
Yes.
That's what keeps everyone happy.
yeah.
Moving along.
Yep.
We're smoking cigars, we're making cigars, we're making the world a better place.
Yeah.
Right.
Love it.
With you.
Where are the moments that in the beginning or in the day to day, you just think this is gonna fail? And I'm gonna have to just chalk it up. It's over. It could be a project, it could be the whole business. It could be saying the whole business, APS Distribution, I'm out. I'm good. Buy me out. Have you ever gotten there?
Right
Have
to
you
that
ever
point?
thought that?
Not yet.
Not yet.
Not yet.
Have you ever had a circumstance that made you think that that was an option on the table? Like a forced option. Like, oh my gosh, we're going to have to close shop.
No.
No.
No, we have too much business.
You got too much business.
The initial stages, though, when I was really young,
Yeah.
Yeah.
Tony, go
You
back
were-
with me.
yeah, you were
Let's
in
go
a-
back.
we were in a
Yeah, before we got all the big customers. Yeah.
Chrysler Plymouth minivan with
Yeah.
tarped up windows, and he was
Yeah.
selling cigars out of it. So,
Yeah, you're right.
Yeah. That's
Yeah,
like
this is a
the
long
very
time ago,
initial.
though.
Yeah, when I was
Yeah,
young.
let's go
young.
back, Tony.
Yeah.
Yeah, the first
Reel me
3
back.
years, the first 3 years of the cigar business. Remember, I got into this business as a hobby.
Okay.
As a hobby. So
Just
the,
a hobby. What year was this?
1995, 96.
The boom, the cigar boom.
Well, no, the boom was...
The boom ended.
The boom was just ending.
Okay.
I got in a few years too late.
All right.
Just a few, the boom was like 92, 93, 94.
Sure. So
Well,
it's
I
fizzling out.
caught part of the boom.
Right.
I caught part of
You're
it.
kind of riding the wave.
Yeah.
You didn't ride it the whole way, but you
Right.
caught a little bit of it.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
So why so difficult? It's a great wave. Jump on.
Yeah.
Let's ride it.
Yeah.
But here we are driving around in a Chrysler minivan that has tarp over the windows.
Yeah.
Because the window broke?
Yeah, when I was younger, there was, it was tough sledding. I
Yeah.
remember that.
Tough sledding?
Yeah, like it was tough to launch, and there was definitely when we were really small.
Yeah. Well, we started off with a retail store first.
Yeah.
All right. So you're retailers.
Yeah. We started off.
You're meeting the
retailing.
customer, you're handing them cigars, you sell
Yeah.
them cigars, we're good to go.
Yeah.
Then you decide to go back behind the door and start
Yeah.
cooking in the kitchen.
Yeah, and make
Yeah.
our own brands, and then get some salesmen out in the road.
So when you did the, hey, I'm running retail, now let's go back and start making cigars, what was it that made you think, oh man, I shouldn't be back here making cigars. I gotta get out. Gotta get out of the kitchen.
No, I never thought that.
There was never a situation that came up where you thought that?
No.
Okay, then what was the struggle?
No.
Where was the struggle?
I mean, I would say in the beginning when
Well, you have to know a little bit about my background.
Okay.
Okay, so I'm 70 years old.
Yeah.
I've been in this business for close to 30 years.
Yeah.
Okay, but when I grew up as a child, I worked from as soon as I was able to work.
You were working.
I was
Let's
working
go.
for my dad. And, my education, I never went to college. I never even went to high school. I went to trade school because I learned to build. I was a contractor, electrician, a plumber, fixed cars. I could do anything. And my family had a frozen food factory. So when I wasn't in school or if I wasn't contracting, I was working for them.
I like it. You had an entrepreneurial family.
Yeah.
And so the big
Entrepreneur.
picture-
My father only went to the 6th grade.
The big picture is, hey,
Yeah.
this is our family. This is how we eat. We
Yeah.
eat. This is how we afford to live.
Yeah.
So all hands on deck.
Yeah.
If you don't have a shovel in your hand or a hammer in the other, get on over here because we got some stuff for you to do.
Right. Yeah.
All right. You're
and-
painting a good picture.
And my dad was a jack of all trades too. He started off. He came from Italy when he was 6 years old. Started shining shoes. Then he became a cobbler. Then he had a dry cleaning shop. Then he opened up restaurants. Then catering companies. Then he ended up building a really big name Italian frozen food factory called Serino's Frozen Foods, which our whole family worked there. My brothers, my sisters, everything. All my friends, everybody.
I love
and did that till probably about 20 years old, and then got in a very bad motorcycle accident where I got run over by a car.
Ah.
And I was in traction for almost about a year. And
What's
I was-
traction?
Well, I was the steel pins in my legs. And
Got it.
In the hospital.
Oh, gotcha. You're
this
kinda-
is prehistoric surgery.
An exoskeleton
Yeah,
to help
and
you
1990
mend yourself.
In 1970,
physical
this-
therapy, rehabilitation before it was
Rehabilitation.
nice.
Yeah, got
Yeah.
it.
Before there was like, all the bells and whistles to
So,
help you get back.
Humpty Dumpty needed to be put back
Yeah.
together again.
Uh-huh. And I moved to Florida to recuperate.
Got it.
Okay. But
Great place to smoke a cigar,
Yeah.
especially if you're laid up.
well, no, still didn't smoke then. Never smoked a cigarette in my life, and never really drank. And lived in Massachusetts, Boston, Massachusetts. Kind of gray, dirty. Back in the '60s, it was not like now. It was very dirty, very gray.
It's a blue collar town.
Yeah, blue collar town. And but once I moved down to Florida, it was like my eyes opened up. I saw color. Okay, and I did come down here with a settlement because it wasn't my fault. I got run over by a drunk cop.
Got it.
Okay, so
I'm sorry to hear that.
Had some money, and came down here, moved down here all by myself. And I mean to Florida. Not
Yeah,
to
I know.
yeah,
We got it.
Okay, to Florida, and opened up the very first video franchise store in the United States.
Was it Blockbuster?
Well, I'll lead on to that. Okay, so that was before even Blockbuster existed. Okay, there was a street in Fort Lauderdale which was called Electronics Row, and every electronics store that you can think of was there. And this was when the TVs, little Sony Trinitron 13-inch TVs came out, and
Yeah.
I invented this. I invented this magnifying glass and a box to slip over a Trinitron, so 13-inch Trinitron, and created the first projection television set.
So give me 1 second here. You remember the episode of Friends where the guy that pounds, did you watch Friends? Okay. He pounds
Patchy. Yeah.
on the ceiling when the friends are too loud. All of you out there, when he died and he gave the people upstairs that annoyed him his full apartment, and in the apartment was a wheelable big magnifying glass that you would put in front of a TV.
Yeah, that's
That was you?
I created the first one. Yeah.
Did you even know that your invention hit the silver screen that is Friends?
No. I mean,
That's
that was-
amazing.
I didn't patent it, so other people came out with other
Oh,
ones.
okay. So it may not have been your model.
It might not have been my model.
Why didn't you
No.
patent it, Tony?
Well, like I said, I never went to college. I didn't have. I went to trade school.
Got it. So it ended up not being
and I was
super
not
profitable.
I was not a big reader, but I just had a lot of ambition.
Yeah.
A lot of ambition, a lot of drive.
You're
I
gonna
like-
grind it out until
yeah.
you get there.
I like to make money.
Yeah.
And so I turned that store. This was when the very first Sony Betamax came out. It wasn't even VHS then. Well, I might as well just tell you the whole story.
Yeah.
So,
Let's go.
yeah. I mean,
Got nowhere to be.
living in Boston, okay, it was, I lived up with a tough crowd, okay?
Yeah.
Tough crowd. We would do anything to make a buck. We had to make money.
Yeah.
Okay, so when I moved to Florida, I saw a movie theater across the street. I went over to the projectionist, and I said, "Do you want to make some money?" And he says, "Well, who are you?" I said, "I own an electronics shop across the street." And I said, "I have this big video camera." I said, "Let me come in here at midnight and film all your first-run movies before they even are released." Because
Okay.
the movie theaters got the movies 2 weeks before they released them.
Right.
So there was no copyright laws. Nobody even knew about video recorders then. Okay? So I had...
Right now,
I
all
had
of this
Star
stuff
Wars,
is
I
protected.
had Grease. I had every movie 2 weeks before they came out at the theater.
Okay, hang on. Let me set the stage. Right now, in today's world, all of that is protected by copyright.
Yeah.
So at
It
this
wasn't
time,
then.
Tony wasn't breaking the law.
No.
Because they didn't even think that this could be a thing
No.
that they had to protect themselves
No.
against.
They were worried about... Sony was worried about stealing... They were trying to stop the video recorder from recording TV shows.
Gotcha.
Okay? That's what they were trying to stop. That's what their focus was at. But then that became that anything that's in the air is free.
Right.
Okay? So if you are broadcasting it, people have the right to record it on TV.
Sure.
I went the other direction. Okay, I got
Yeah.
a big video camera, and then I had a room with 100 video recorders, and just started making movies and selling them for $75 a piece. Now I'm 20 years old. I made the first $1 million in cash, and then from there on, I opened up 5 stores. Then I franchised it, sold 100 stores, and you remember, no big education, okay? And at that time, when I was 15 years old, I started practicing the piano for 5 hours every day. So at my house, I had a grand piano. I thought I was Elvis Presley. I was
How
buying
old were
people
you?
cars. I'm buying people houses. You know, I mean, I lived
25
with
years old, you
lived with 8 girls at one time. Had a swimming pool right inside my house. I could build. I was an electrician, a plumber, a carpenter.
Yeah.
I built all my houses. I built all my video stores. And that's when Wayne Heisinger heard about me.
And who's
Okay.
Wayne Heitz?
Wayne Heisinger owned Waste Management and owned Blockbuster Entertainment,
Yeah.
owned the Miami Dolphins, the Florida Panthers, the Florida Marlins, and AutoNation, and hundreds of other companies.
Sure.
Okay.
He's a tycoon. He's got
Yeah.
it all.
Okay. And then we got other people involved in it. Sumner Redstone. Sumner Redstone owned Viacom, which Wayne ended up buying a lot of the movie studios. And Sumner Redstone owned almost every radio station and every drive-in theater. Sumner Redstone was from Massachusetts. When I was 13 years old, my father's factory burned down, and it took about 3 months to get it back up and running. I went to work for Sumner Redstone when I was 13. Once Wayne hired me as a consultant, his partners were Sumner Redstone and Richard Branson. Richard Branson owned Virgin Records.
Yeah.
So Wayne opened a company called Blockbuster Music. So I was in charge. He liked the way that my stores, I had searchlights, I had big parties, big festivals to get people to come to my store. I had actor lookalikes.
Hang on 1 second, because it's iconic. When you talk about searchlights, it's the big giant light that shoots up into the
Yeah.
sky.
Yeah,
and
we
on
had,
a
like-
decent cloudy night, it really, really amplifies itself. And it's the only way you try to get people's attention to say, where should I go right now? What is that light off into the distance? This is Blockbuster's iconic symbol.
Yeah, they got that from me.
This
They got that
is
from me.
cool stuff, Tony.
He liked the way that I promoted my store.
Am I the only one geeking out here, Carson, or are you there right there with me?
I'm right there with you.
Okay.
Yeah,
Yeah.
for sure.
And you've heard these stories before.
Oh yeah, he I used to bring him up into Wayne's office.
yeah,
You know,
I don't remember, but yeah.
Nobody talked to Wayne. I mean, Wayne was way up here. Okay, he had all kinds of companies.
But you had a different relationship with them.
Yeah, well, he put me, not just him, but his marketing department. They put me in charge of grand openings. Okay, my job was I did the grand openings for 4,000 Blockbuster video stores, and my job was to try to get 5,000 people to a store for a grand opening. Remember, it's very easy because everybody watched movies.
Right.
All you really had to, he gave me like a $40,000-$50,000 budget. All you had to do was really,
Just 40, 50.
all you really had to do was, he put a Blockbuster video every 3 miles. Almost
Right into
every
the
3
microphone.
miles. Every 3 miles, there was a Blockbuster video. And so all you had to do was canvass that area with grand openings. And we had giveaways, It was kind of like Pest the Power came from McDonald's. The
Right.
vice president of McDonald's came to work for Wayne as the vice president of marketing for Blockbuster.
What?
And he was a really close friend of mine. And we kind of did the Pest the Power. Like McDonald's made the Happy Meal because the kids wanted the little toy in the box, okay?
Right.
So that's called Pest the Power. So we had to say, Well, how do we get Pester Power into Blockbuster?
Wait a minute,
We gave free toys away to kids.
Pistol Power or
Pester Power.
Pester.
When your children, Mommy, I want the Happy Meal. I want to go get the little clown that comes inside the Happy Meal.
Okay, here it is. I'm going to break it down. Pester the parent for the toy.
The parent for the
so
toy.
it's called Pester Power.
Pester Power.
I'm so glad I clarified because
Yeah,
I was hearing a
Pester
lot
Power.
of other P words
Yeah.
that I didn't quite understand.
Why do you think they have the Happy Meal? The kid wants the toy.
Yeah, I did.
Yeah.
And they released a brand new toy.
And we did the
and
same
they
thing.
advertised
We did
it.
the same thing at Blockbuster.
Got it.
Okay, we gave little toys to kids. You come on in during the grand opening. You got all kinds of toys. You got watches. You got balloons. You got giveaways.
Right.
And that's how we did our grand openings. And we did the searchlights, and we had movie star lookalikes. Well, once in a while we'd have a real movie star there.
Wow.
But they were opening up like this, almost one a week. And they had their own realty company, and they bought their own stores. They're all freestanding stores. So
That's some real wealth right there.
yeah, then
You're
and
owning real estate.
And my son played ice hockey since he was 3 or 4 years old, and he practiced 6 hours a day.
A lot.
6 hours
Yeah.
a day, every single day. I actually have 3,000 videotapes of 3,000 of his games. we traveled literally, not around the world, but
Locally. Yeah. Regional.
all around the United States and
Right.
Canada.
Yeah. Travel out.
and
Okay.
Canada.
Tony, who's behind the camera?
Oh, I took all the videos.
Yeah.
Yeah, I took all the videos.
Hang on. I need you to pause for a second.
Okay.
Carson, your dad's got 3,000
I know.
tapes.
It was a lot.
Let's
And, like,
let's just kind
a
of
lot
just
of
chalk this
dedication.
up with like never missed a practice or a game or a tournament. How does that make you feel as a son? To see a dad so dedicated to the things that you like to do that he wants to be there to experience it.
I'm really proud of that. Yeah. And
It kind
I-
of makes me a little teary.
yeah,
I'm not gonna
absolutely.
lie.
And I think it's a lot of like where I get like, my work ethic and dedication to things as well.
Man, you worked hard.
Yeah. You definitely.
Man.
Hang on,
pull-
Tony.
Good.
He did work hard,
Oh yeah.
Oh,
but
yeah.
you showed up.
Yeah.
Yeah. But he worked hard though.
Oh, no. I get
mean,
for sure.
You know?
Yeah, absolutely.
Do you
I'm
miss
really-
hockey? Do you
yeah.
still play it?
Every once in a while. There's other things in my life,
yeah, he
life
likes
happens.
music
and,
now.
But I miss it, certainly, for sure.
Yeah.
And I try to get back to it when I can. But
I got the same thing.
yeah.
I danced competitively
Yeah.
from 3rd grade till I graduated.
Wow.
And people ask me, do you still dance?
Yeah. I hope
Unless
so.
it's at a wedding,
Yeah.
that's about it.
Yeah.
And you just kind of move on, but you never forget how fun and how impactful that whole team sport camaraderie was.
yeah.
It really does shape who you are. And you learn so much trying to work together as a team, always for the greater good. Let's go back full circle. When you guys told me APS distribution does everything for the greater good,
Yes.
I kind of see it. I see
Oh,
how
yeah.
it's been ingrained in your whole hockey career. Now, with the whole thing with you being dedicated, being at every single game, every single practice, I get it.
Now I wouldn't have left Blockbuster, but Wayne retired.
Yeah.
Okay.
Okay, after AutoNation.
Yeah.
You know, he sold out to Sumner Redstone. He sold out Blockbuster to Sumner Redstone.
Sure.
Then he opened up AutoNation. I helped him with AutoNation. AutoNation kind of was like a bust in the beginning because they took the CarMax approach, just selling
Sure.
used cars.
Sure.
Can't make money selling used cars. All the money that you make from cars comes from warranty work. And used cars, there's no warranty work.
Not in today's world right now.
Not now.
They're
Not
making
now.
lots.
Not
But back
now,
then,
yeah.
that was the case.
So once he retired and I left there, then I had nothing to do. And somebody just said, well, what are you going to do now? And I said, I don't know. But I had money saved.
A little bit.
Yeah. So
Just a little.
So somebody just said, well, cigars is a big thing now. But took me about 3 years to learn the business.
Yeah.
And
Yeah, it's
those
not-
3 years, that was the boom. And
Sure.
it took me 3 years to learn the business.
Gotcha.
And
Now-
I would say in that 3 years, that's where I was talking about, like
Where we
all
had the struggle.
Yeah.
Well, we had the
Because
struggle. Yeah.
There wasn't much experience there, and it would just be from a passion to
Right.
a business.
Were you ever thinking like, Dad, what's going on? Like, why you don't have to do this?
Me personally, I was pretty young, and he was taking me to the shops. I was working at the shop too,
Okay.
Yeah.
at the retail store, at a young age. So,
I love it.
yeah.
You always got to be doing something, huh,
Yeah.
Tony?
Yeah. Mm-hmm.
How old are you?
70.
You're 70,
Yeah.
and you're still traveling. You're still
Yeah.
selling cigars
Selling cigars. That's all I do now. And play music.
and play music.
Yeah.
Do you ever want to just retire? Just do the music?
Yes, I do. I do.
Why don't you?
I don't have enough money saved.
Carson's
Well,
eyebrows went up a couple
Yeah.
times.
I mean,
Do you know the dollar amount? Do you have an idea?
I don't know.
Okay.
I'm in the dark on
I
that
lived
stuff.
kind of a lavish lifestyle. Like, remember I told you about no college, no real financial
Right.
education.
So do you-
okay?
do you think you
I
spent too much?
Oh, I spend it faster than the water.
So okay, we're
let's
going
just
back.
let's just put something in perspective, okay? I have 5 pianos in my house. I have almost 50 guitars. Okay, I go overboard in everything I do.
Right.
Yeah.
I've had every kind of car there is. I've had my own planes, my own cigarette boats, my own race boats, my own jets, not jets, twin engine board, my own pilots. I mean, when I grew up, I bought every girl that I dated, I bought her a house. Every girl I dated, I bought her a car.
Yeah.
Every Christmas, I bought everybody in my family a car. I thought I was Elvis Presley.
I freaking love it.
That's who I grew up with. I grew
Yeah.
up listening to Elvis and Ricky Nelson. Okay, the Beatles was an after fact. Okay,
That was like the
I
calm
thought I
stage
was
of your
Elvis,
life.
Okay, I used to serenade all these girls. I had 8 girls living with me. I played the piano, sing songs to them, and then I had a crazy life. I had a fun life. I had
Yeah.
a blast.
Okay,
I had a blast.
would you change anything?
No.
So you wouldn't even go back to yourself and say, "Hey, why don't you hang on to a few bucks?"
Well, yeah, that would have been nice, but I'm learning that now. I'm gonna hang on to some money now.
Yeah.
Okay.
I would like to retire in a few years.
Got it.
I would like to retire, and if not retire, but be able to not have to work as hard. I go to work every day,
Yeah.
every single day.
Right.
I want to get it to the point where I don't want to get out of the business.
Like once a week, maybe.
No,
Pop in.
no, I just don't. I don't want everything to have to rely on me. I take all the full pressure. My brother's helping me now. My son's helping me. Take some of the pressure off. We're coming up with different ideas too.
Right.
We're coming up with some different ideas. Only because now we can't do the volume of cigars because the rollers just aren't there. After the COVID, the rollers aren't there.
Yeah.
The wood, to buy the boxes for the wood.
Not there.
It's a shortage of wood. There's a shortage of labor to make the bands. A band that used to take 5 weeks takes 4 months. A box that used to take 3 or 4 weeks now you have to put your order in 6 months. 6 months in advance.
It's hard.
So
We gotta think of
gotten a lot
different
harder.
things.
So
We have to
So-
go somewhere else for boxes.
we're
Maybe
gonna,
it's
we're
not
gonna
wood
come
anymore.
up with our own
Yeah.
brands and
which we've started to do. We have the butcher wrap paper.
Yeah, maybe it's
packs and,
biodegradable.
Yeah, exactly.
so
So-
we
Yeah.
always made brands for other people, And then our own brands, we always sold wholesale. But now we have to make some new brands and sell them retail.
Got it.
That's what I think. We have to have a combination of all three.
Right.
Makings for other people, which is really low profit.
Right.
High quantity. It kind of pays the overhead. Okay,
Right.
that pays the overhead.
We got the lights on.
Yeah,
we're doing the work.
Pays the overhead. And
Now
we give
let's go
everybody
out and
good
get that
deals.
retirement savings.
Yeah. Now
Let's go fund our 401k.
Now our wholesale is still profitable, but it's not that big money. Like, something that I sell for a few dollars, I see it on the internet for 5 times as much as I sold it to that person.
Right.
I want some of that money.
Got it.
I want some of that.
You got it. Let's get into that.
So
that's where we're at with Serena.
Different brands for that.
Right.
I'll create different brands for that.
Right. That's the Sereno brand.
Yeah.
That's the Eleanor Rose,
Well,
the Sereno line.
we're going to have to come up with new brands because these we're still selling to brick and mortar stores. I don't want to compete with my brick and mortar stores.
Okay.
So we'll come up with new brands.
So you're not at that third stage yet.
Not yet.
Got it.
That's what I think I'll be able to retire on.
Got it. We're waiting for the third stage.
Yeah.
Carson,
We're working
are
on it.
you helping in the third stage or where are you at? You back at stage 2? Where are we at?
I'm focusing on, designing brands and with Sereno stuff right now. We all kind of have our own roles within the company.
What's your role?
I do a lot of the marketing, branding, working with all the salespeople, traveling around the country a
Are you
lot.
professionally trained to do all that? Or did you just
Yeah.
pick it up?
I picked it up. I've been
How'd you
around-
pick it up?
Just being around here for a long time. I grew up in the industry.
Right.
And went to school for marketing and branding, and my general like interest always comes to like design and branding and those things. So I've really like leaned into teaching myself photography, coming up with different branding concepts, all of that stuff. So like that's more of the passion that comes through.
Right.
And
It's really
part-
trying to figure out how to get the product
Yeah.
to connect with the customer.
exactly.
It's not necessarily. I don't like it when people say that it's smoke and mirrors or it's just a story.
Yeah.
It's
I try
not
to
just a story. It's
Mhm.
I'm trying to communicate to you
Mhm.
when I can't be present.
Exactly.
So I have to do it in the way my box looks. I
Yeah.
have to do it in the way my logo looks. And then I have to do it in the way the collateral speaks to you.
Mhm.
Because I can do a cigar that has motorcycles and, the whole riding life, but then I'm not speaking to the guy who's out on the golf course driving a
Exactly.
Mercedes Benz,
Yeah.
right?
Mm-hmm.
So that's the fun
one thing I try to get away from is smoke and mirrors. And I think a lot of people think they can just like throw,
Yeah.
a cigar in a box and it's just the same. I really do believe you should try to connect with people and try to, forge some chemistry there so that
how are
they
you doing
relate
that?
to it. Yeah.
How are you doing that so that you can do that with the brands that you're working on?
I think you have to find the right cigar, the right story behind it, imagery, and really try to connect, be transparent about the process, which we do with, social media, showing people why the brands we make them the way we do, the people behind the brand as well, and show them from, the seed to the end, all the work that goes into it, just so that we can, build some kind of essence to our brand that connects with people that doesn't with other brands. And that's not to dog anyone else's brands or anything. It's just like we try to really build a narrative and the right product. So
Yeah.
But
You got to
building-
build the right narrative
Yeah.
that makes the customer go, oh
Yeah.
gosh, yeah, I got to
Yeah.
try this.
yeah, for sure.
And
And
a lot of cigars do taste the same. So then it boils down into your customer.
Right.
You treat people the way that you want to be treated.
Yeah.
I honestly believe I don't have one enemy.
Right.
Okay, and I treat people the way that I want them to treat me. And
Yeah, you know what,
when
Tony?
when you have a good when you have a good reputation and people like you, they'll try your product.
Yeah, even from the phone
But we also
conversation.
do make sure the product's good too.
Yeah,
Okay?
quality's got to be good.
Yeah, the quality has to be good. But everybody here
Got
has
good quality.
Good quality.
Yeah,
So what makes you different? You just have to be kind, and I'm generous.
because you know what? It's the guy that makes, you happy.
Mm-hmm.
You're just happy to be around him.
Yeah.
And I'm
Yeah.
feeling the vibe.
Mm-hmm.
And I hope it's coming through across the camera or through the sound on the speakers, because this truly is.
I think we all need each other.
Yeah.
Yeah, and I do think in every industry, people, like you said, when there's that client supplier, like you can nip at each other's heels. And one thing about the cigar industry, it's pretty collaborative. Like I do feel like everyone's in it to try to help each other, and
Right.
and other different periods, the arc of other people's careers. There's always people lending a hand to somebody else.
Right.
Yeah,
Which,
this
you
is
know,
a very friendly business
Yeah.
as far as I can see.
Yeah.
Yeah. Oh my God. Yeah.
Everybody
It's very-
pitches in and helps out.
Yeah.
Absolutely. Yeah. It's not a cutthroat business.
No.
You
it's
need
not
help?
a cutthroat business.
We'll help you. Because
Yeah.
guess what? All ships rise
Yeah.
when we can allow everyone great opportunities to smoke great cigars at all different price points, flavors,
Yeah.
expressions of artistic ability. The world of cigars is only as limited as the imagination will let it go.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? We only are going to put limits on it if we really just stop imagining what we can do.
Yeah.
If we stop trying to help each other, then the growth will stop.
Yeah.
Yeah. I think that's well said.
Yeah.
Yeah.
But I didn't really say it. You guys did.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I'm just trying to paraphrase it back.
Yeah.
Yeah.
You guys, this whole conversation was unbelievable for me.
Likewise.
Tony.
Thanks.
Likewise.
I listen to a lot of podcasts and I get hooked into a story of somebody who's lived a unique life. And I wish I had the money and the knowledge to produce you as a podcast. If anyone's out there looking for the next podcast / story to kind of tell, it'd be real cool to reach out to Tony and figure out if this is a viable option. Just gonna throw it out there. I think it is.
Okay.
Yeah.
It would be a story that I would grab onto and listen to until I just couldn't take anymore.
Yeah.
Are you with me?
I'm with you.
Yeah. You know
it's
what
an
I'm
interesting story for sure.
It's a ride.
It's a ride.
Yeah.
And everyone likes to be entertained.
Yeah.
And you had an entertaining life.
Oh, I definitely did.
Yeah.
I definitely did.
Thank you both. Carson,
Okay.
Thanks for hosting us, having us on.
thank
Sure.
you so much for being on here.
Absolutely.
I know
It's
you
my
didn't
pleasure.
get to talk a ton,
Oh, it's okay.
but I hope you still felt that there was value in it.
Yeah. I
Tony,
hope so.
Yeah.
Yeah.
thank you so much for opening it up and telling us all about your lifestyle,
Yeah.
the mistakes, the trials and tribulations, and the triumphs,
Right.
the excitement, and the opportunity to just live a lavish lifestyle like frickin' Elvis Presley.
Well, thank you for having me on your show.
If there's anything you should take from this, it should be that the dedication that not only men, but Tony and Carson have, with no matter how educated you are, the grind, the ability to get back up when you get knocked down, the ability to think twice and reshape it. Maybe I got to do this, maybe I got to do that. I'm not going to give up, because if I do, it's poor me and wah, wah, wah. Who cares? The only person that can make your life better is you. And I think that's the lesson I've learned here today. That's another episode of Box Press. I hope you enjoyed it. And if you did, go ahead and like and subscribe. Have a blessed day.